Experiential marketing will deliver relevant communications to consumers only where and when they are most responsive to them. I want to talk to you about pop-up retail. Paco Underhill, a very influential retail consultant, says that 2/3 of all purchases are unplanned and fluid. So why should retail operations be so static? And the notion of pop-up retail really plays off against this. This particular photo is a store in an alley in Chinatown where Adidas decided to launch their first the Adicolor shoe. They didn't want to launch it in the window shop of Athlete's Foot or retail like that. They decided to hide it from people because finding that shoe is cool. And you become an influencer. And then you could be at the bar that night and people are like, oh, where'd you get those shoes? And you're like, oh, I know and you don't. Right? The same concept works for Comme des Garçons in France. This is their guerrilla stores all over the world. This doesn't look like anything like a high-end fashion retailer, but their guerrilla stores are in usually warehouse districts and whatnot. So the act of finding it is actually cooler than shopping. Pop-up retail is being manifested in JCPenney. This is a store in Times Square where it's all electronic retailing. They wanted to see how people shop online, so they had a pop-up store that allowed people to shop at JCPenney with no attendance whatsoever. Crown Royal is a liquor brand in the United States. They did a pop-up barber shop. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you can go in and get touch-up, and then when that night you're going out and people are like, man, you're looking really good. What do you think they're going to drink? They're going to order a Crown Royal. Pop-up retail doesn't have to be for people. In this particular case, this is the Meow Mix Cafe in New York. It's a cafe for cats. And they're cat owners, but primarily it's for cats. And what's interesting about this particular campaign was a $200,000 lease for a month garnered them about $2 million in media impressions in the first 3 days alone. So pop-up retail is an incredibly leverageable notion. This is the Charmin restroom. In New York City, if anyone's ever been to New York City, it's virtually impossible to go to the bathroom. You have to buy something if you want to use it. But they in Times Square decided to open up a free public bathroom, very similar to the Virgin VIP bathroom experience, where it's the coolest bathroom experience ever. So especially for tourists in Times Square who are holding it in, you go in there, and Charmin's providing you a clear, meaningful benefit, but also a pop-up location in Times Square where you can enjoy the bathroom experience and then talk to people about it. I have another particular manifesto point, and that's using innovation. Really, innovation could be an experience enhancer, and we really have to be very cognizant of the new innovation and the new technologies that are coming out there. We as consumers use innovation every single day of our lives in technology. Why don't marketers as well? People use technology to take action. This is a particular flash mob experience. I'm somewhere in the left. It was really cold that day. I apologize. But what I do want to say is that the notion of flash mobs is an early manifestation of something that we really have to pay attention to. People talk about the cell phone as the third screen. No one wants to see mini ads on a tiny screen. What really the mobile phone allows you to do is to take action. In this particular case, in a flash mob perspective, you get a text message like this: Liverpool station arrives 5:15, bring iPod, dance, leave 5:20. Right? That's what you get, and this is what happens. People show up at Liverpool station with their iPods and they're dancing. Hundreds, if not thousands of them. Imagine getting off the train without knowing what's going on. And this is what you walk into. So flash mobs is an early manifestation of new technology, but if you think about it, isn't getting a bunch of people to do one thing, or show up in one place like a store, and do one concerted action, in this particular case it's dance, but in our particular case it's to buy something and then leave quickly. Isn't that the whole point of marketing and advertising? That's what we're trying to do. So by understanding the concept and the notion behind flash mobs, we really start to understand how the consumer is congregating and taking action. Lastly, really quickly, gaming. We have to look at it. Xbox came out with 3 games for Burger King last year. The Sneak King, each game you buy a Happy Meal, you buy $3.99 a game. And it's basically the Burger King, either racing or jumping on motorcycles or sneaking around. And about 3.5 million games of this was sold. Burger King made tons of money on a marketing campaign, right? And if you think, if they do the numbers, the time spent playing games equated to about 1.4 billion 30-second commercials, if you do the time spent on the game. So understanding gaming culture becomes very incredible and a powerful tool for experiential marketers and us. Lastly, Halo 3, one of the most anticipated games ever, broke all records for entertainment. I think it was $300 million in the first weekend. Now, how do you leverage that? Well, Mountain Dew had an incredible idea. They knew that guys, when they get Halo, are going to spend 20, 30 hours in a row, like I did, playing it. So they invented the Mountain Dew Game Fuel, which is basically Mountain Dew with a different color. By positioning it as game fuel to keep your energy up while you're gaming, they made a completely new category of drinks, and they were the first one to do it. So by understanding these technologies and innovations, we really can become an experience enhancer rather than a detractor. Finally, really quickly, experiential marketing will make or break the brands and products of the future. But my friends in Hollywood always say, leave them wanting more. So you'll have to read the book to find out how. I thank you for your time. I'm sorry I ran a little bit over. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.